It's the cloud. And thank you guys for hopping on your Sunday night. We do these impact Zooms because it is just so good to hear how, hold on a second. Let me hit some mute. No, I didn't mute everyone as they're upon entry. So, what did I just do? Oh, shoot. Play, join, and leave sound. No, I don't want to do that. Mute all upon entry, continue. Sorry, guys. Let me take that off. All right. So, admit. Okay, guys, sorry about that. All right, thank you guys for hopping on your Sunday night. We do these promoter impact Zooms because everyone gets introduced to Thrive so many different ways, and everybody runs their business differently. And it's just always good to hear about how people found Thrive, how they decided to, jump all in with this business or to do this business at all, and how they run their business. It's good to hear tips and tricks. Sometimes we get things from these Zooms where we can incorporate them into our own business. So I met Veronica on a lifestyle getaway. We were in line for pork chops at the pool.
Yep.
We were in line for pork chops at the pool, and we just started talking, and then we just kept in touch. We friended each other on Facebook. We bumped into each other at I think it was, did we see each other at Thrive Palooza? I think
we did.
Saw each other at Thrive Palooza, and then we saw each other in Jamaica, and we were like, that's it. This is a thing. Like, this has become a thing
We
with
are
us.
getaway buddies.
Yes, we are getaway buddies, and we went to a local in Daytona, and Veronica was there, so I got to see her again. So that's one thing that's so amazing about this business is like you meet so many different people, and if it hadn't have been for Lavelle and Thrive, I would have never known Veronica, and I absolutely love her. So, Veronica, go ahead. I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away on how you found Thrive. Tell your story, girl.
All right, so I will start with my story. My friend Summer, oops, sorry, that's my camera alarm. My friend Summer had been doing Thrive for quite a few months, and she kept reaching out and kept reaching out, but I was one of those people that was like super skeptical. I always say, skeptics make the best customers or the best promoters. I was one of those people. And I told her no, just kept telling her no, kept telling her no. Like I've done everything. And the last thing I did prior to Thrive was LMS, which is not very popular, but it is super expensive. I spent $1,600 for 6 months of that program, and it did squat. So I was really, really turned off, along with that. And then everything else I had tried. And I had some health stuff going on. I have to be careful how I word things. But basically, I woke up one day a few years ago and I couldn't walk. So it stemmed from stuff that I've had my whole life as I was a baby. But so I was going through a lot of things health wise that, took a toll on me emotionally and mentally. I mean, when you go from being an active person, and Q will tell you, like, I'm super active, I'm always dancing, like the life of the party. So when you go from being somebody that's that active, I was in the gym 5 or 6 days a week and I'm working 60 hours a week, to all of a sudden you can't walk. Like I couldn't stand at the stove and cook my children dinner anymore. Sorry, I always get choked up on that. So imagine what that will do to you mentally, honestly. My kids know the term fend for yourself very, very well. And they love it. My kids are all about mac and tuna, throw a pizza in the oven. But as a parent, like, you don't want that for your children. You want them to eat a wholesome meal and it to be healthy and not just crap all the time. My breaking points, I was sitting at my kitchen table one night and I was working on my laptop and I knocked over my glass of tea. And something in my mind just kind of snapped, and it was a plastic cup, but I just lost it. I took that cup and I chunked it across my kitchen and I hit the wall. I put a hole in the wall with a plastic friggin' cup. I had tea everywhere on my sliding glass door, on the walls. I mean, it was horrible. My daughter was standing at the kitchen washing dishes, and she turned around, and that look she just gave me broke my heart. And I knew right then something had to change. I walked back to my computer. I never even cleaned anything up. I walked back to my computer and I ordered. I was like, you know what? Either this is going to work or it's not going to work, but something has to change. And if it works, great. If not, I lost 150 bucks. Um, I maxed out my last credit card to place my order. I received my product on Friday. Now, in my ordering, I told Summer I'm not promoting. I don't have time for that. Like, I have a family, I have a house, I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm just not doing it. I'll be the customer. And so I got my product on Friday. I started my Thrive on Saturday. I was a day one Thriver. And by the end of the weekend, I was just shocked at like how I was feeling, physically, mentally. I went to a baby shower on Sunday, which was like huge for me because every time I had been invited somewhere, I was like, no, no, I always made an excuse because I just wanted to be home. Like, I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to socialize. I just wanted to be home and be lazy. My weekends were spent recovering from the week before and getting ready for next week. So, but I went to a baby shower that Sunday and I had a blast. I mean, it was amazing. I'm out of the house. I'm having fun. I'm feeling great. So I switched to that promoter button, not knowing I didn't have a clue what the heck I was doing, but I'm like, you know what? If I feel this good, like everybody needs to feel this good. Everybody needs this product. So I switched. I hit VIP 800 in my first 2 weeks. I did not hit 1600, but I did hit 800 in my first 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks later, they offered a VIP reset. So I did the VIP reset and I hit both 800 and 1600. I've never tried to sell anybody. Like, I've never been one of those salesy people. I don't make the salesy type post. I just tell my story. The people that are close to me saw immediately the difference in me and they were like, what are you doing different? And I was like, oh, it's Thrive. Here, you got to try it. I made the mistake when I first started. I gave away 89 days worth of product for free when I first started, trying to get everybody on it. And oh, if they try it, they're going to order. So it did not work for me. None of those people ordered actually. So I basically wasted 3 months worth of product. What I started doing is on my samples, I charge for my samples $5 a day, the same amount that I pay. And I tell everybody, if you like it and you place your order by the end of your sample period that I just gave you, then I will give you your money back for your sample. So I'm not really losing anything because if they order and I have to give them their money back on the sample, I just made that back off of my commission from their order. So I found that to work really well because, number one, it puts a sense of urgency on them. So they're not, procrastinating. Number two, they have money invested in it because think about, when you go to the grocery store and you have to see the sample table set up and they're sampling this and sampling that. And you go by, oh, it looks good. I'll take a sample. How often do you really buy that stuff? Like hardly ever. I've never bought, I think I bought once. They did some fizz drink at Sam's one day. And I think that's the only thing I've ever bought. But I'm one of those, it's like, yep, free sample, got it, I'm gone. So I think about it that way. So I don't like to give them out for free because now you don't have anything invested in it. You're not going to take it serious. If you have money invested in it, even whether it be 15, 20 bucks, you've got money invested in it. And so now you're going to take it serious. If I really like an order, I get this money back and everybody's all about that. So that has worked extremely well for me. Some of my other promoting tips, Maria has the 54321. I don't know how often you guys push that. I started doing like the planner and okay, I'm going to reach out to these 5 people this day. And, I would sit down on Sunday and I would write my planner out. And that to me, it just didn't work for me. For me, it was too time consuming. And I have, trying to go through Facebook or all of Instagram, everything I have, trying to figure out who I'm going to reach out to. It was just more time consuming than what it was worth. What I do is I still work my 54321, but I do it a little different. So I start on Monday and I start in the A's on my friends list and I do it with Facebook and Instagram. So I start on the A's on Monday and I'll click on everybody's name who's not a Thriver. I don't interact with too many thrivers on Facebook. And I'll go interact on like the last two, three of their posts. If they haven't posted, if it's been like a week since they posted, I don't comment or interact on that stuff because you don't want to look like a stalker. But if it's recent, even if you're scrolling through your news feed, you're seeing stuff that's 2 and 3 days old anyway. So I start in the A's, and by the time Sunday hits, I've made it through the Z's on my friends list. I do that every week. Every Monday, I start it all over again. So I'm always interacting with people on Facebook. So now when I'm posting about Thrive, my algorithms are like super, super high. So all my stuff that I'm posting is now in their newsfeed. So I don't have to message them or ask them about Thrive because they're seeing it already. If I happen to have a really busy week, which does happen, I mean, life happens, and I don't make it through my friends list by Sunday, that Monday, I start at the Z and I work backwards. So I want to make sure that I'm always interacting with my entire friends list and not just, say A through M or something. So that's kind of how I work 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That I think it works better for me. It frees up a lot of my planning time. So Sunday, I'm not spending so much time planning. I'm planning out my posts for the day. What day am I going to go live? I try to go live once a week. What day am I going to post stories? So I want different stories every day. Like Wednesday, I love how you guys do wind down Wednesday. I've so wanted to do that, but I don't want to take your thing. So I'm trying to think of something new, but totally love that. That's a great idea. But I do like Wellness Wednesday, Thankful Thursdays, Transformation Tuesdays. I'm always sharing the fan page stories. So a bulk of the people that have ordered from me from a fan page story, I try to find a story that relates. So I'm always paying attention. And if I see somebody constantly posting that, oh, I'm tired, or tired mom, those hashtags, excuse me, I make a note of it in my planner. I always have my planner with me, but I make a note on that person. And so I always read every single story on the fan page. I don't share them all. Some of them I think is salesy. It's all about the business, and that's not how I portray my business. So that kind of stuff I don't share. But what works for me is the visual, because if somebody sees excuse my French, a bomb ass before and after picture, they're going to read that story. And that has been huge for me. If I just see, a fan page story of somebody holding the 3 steps, that's not eye catching to me. And not a lot of people are going to read that story, I think. If it's a really good story, I'll share it and I'll say, something about something that's in the story. So I'll kind of set it up for them to make it interesting so they will read it, because there are some good stories that don't have before and after pictures. If I see a really, really good one, I have a habit, send them to myself in Messenger. So you can message yourself. That way you're not scrolling forever on the fan page trying to find it again. So like the weight gain stories, every story I've seen with weight gain, I always send it to myself because there's always somebody looking for that. And there's not a lot of those. So I do share the weight gain stories. Thrive Skin has not been super popular on the fan page. So those stories I make sure that I send to myself. That way, when people are asking me, do you have anything about skin, how people are liking it, I can just go right to my messenger and forward them the story because it's there, it's easy to find. Um, if I see a status I like, maybe one of our uplines, Courtney Glazier is one that I follow and I love a lot of her statuses. Courtney Rogers is another one. But you don't want to copy and paste, because if you copy something from somebody else and you paste it as yours, you're not only hindering them, but you're hindering yourself, because that's how the whole algorithm world works. I'm so big on the algorithms. So you never ever want to copy and paste. You can take the idea, but definitely reword it and make it your own. That way you're not hindering yourself, because Facebook won't show it all the time. If you post a status, we do this with our team a lot. If you notice lately you're not getting a lot of traffic on your Thrive stuff, we'll make a status and then we'll share it in our team chat, and we'll ask the people on our team, hey, can you go show some love on my post? That'll help boost your algorithms too. When you reply to people, if you get 12 comments in the first 15 minutes, which is basically 6 people commenting and you replying to all those 6 people, that's 12 comments within 15 minutes. social media looks at you now as a social influencer, and they're going to start showing your stuff more. So if you have stuff that you're not getting a lot of traffic on, ask your team, hey, can you show me some love on your page or on my status? And that's going to help boost your algorithms too. Just make sure you reply to everybody. And when you reply, it's got to be at least 4 words and some type of emoji. That's going to be the best way to do that. Make sure you're talking to a leader every day. It doesn't have to be your direct upline. It can be, a sister team, just a leader every day. And that's part of your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But I like talking to different people because I get something different from everybody. Because like Q said, everybody doesn't run their business the same. I don't run my business like my upline runs her business. Number one, she's home 24/7. I'm not, I still work. I'll probably always still work, honestly, because I love my job. But, I still work 50 hours a week. So I don't have time to do what she does. So I run my business different. I try to do like I'm marketing myself. So I'm not marketing, just the product. Like I show my life, I showcase what I'm doing. But I also try to make people understand that Thrive has a lot to do with what I can do in my life, whether it be financial, time wise. Last night, I made a stupid status. I took a picture of my watch because my watch dies before I do, and it's a brand new freaking watch. So I took a picture of my watch, and I'm like, when your energy outlasts your watch, just simple stuff like that. And people are like, what? Because a lot of watches last, but I do hour-long workouts, so it kills my battery a lot quicker. But stuff like that are all, I'm big with motivation posts on my social media, but I 95% of the time make sure my DFT is showing. I saw something really cute the other day. I don't know if you saw it, Q. Angie in her town, I think our news stations do it too, but you get your Facebook fan of the day. And so Angie made it to her local news station, Angie Boyle, as the Facebook friend of the day, and her Facebook profile picture is showing her DFT. Well, the conversation came up on the news. Oh, it's so cute. Your Band-Aid matches your pants. Well, they don't know it's a Thrive sticker. They didn't know it was, a DFT, but it got the conversation started when they posted it on the Facebook. So that's something really cool to look into also. I do it with our news stations here. I'm in a lot of groups, like crafting groups. I have a Cricut, so I'm in Cricut groups, I'm in mom groups, I'm in girl talk groups, because you always want to expand your network. So in those groups, I befriend people about things that we're mutually interested in. And then eventually, if I send them a friend request, number one, they're going to be more likely to accept it because we've built that relationship within the group over something we're mutually interested in. And then number two, now you've added more people to your list that you can eventually get to Thrive. I'm working on that now, actually, with my new workout group, because I started a new workout group. And so now that I've been getting to know them, like in our classes and on our Facebook group page, so now I'm starting to add them. And I've already had 2 people ask me about Thrive. So you always want to expand your network. That's huge. Try to do a local every month. I do an event every month. Our local town here does what they call First Friday. So basically, they shut down the center square in the city and all the vendors set up. But what's really cool is I've never found an event that has 2 of the same things. So, like our event, I've signed up with Lavelle and Thrive, so no other Thriver can do that event. Same with Color Street, or which is the jewelry one, the bling paparazzi. So they don't ever let more than one person, but events are huge. So I have some months that are like super slow and you might only talk to one person. But then I have other months that are like slamming and I'm slinging products left and right. So even though, and there's probably been, especially this year, more bad months than there have been good months, but you're getting your face out there and you're putting the information out there and you're out there in front of people, you're talking to people. I like to do, I bought like a spin wheel thing on mine. And so I will put different stuff on my wheel. I have all the products. So I've built up over time, but I'll do, like, if they spin the wheel, I might have blast. I'll have a 6-day sample on there, a 3-day sample. I'll have the different activates. I have skin samples. So I put all that on my wheel. And if you sign up for a free account, account, you spin the wheel for a chance to win a free product. So that's also a great way to get people their free accounts, because we all know that's what it revolves around, is your free accounts. So that's, something really good that I do. I do that every month religiously. So look for events in your area, do locals. When I started locals, I started in my living room. Actually, Summer and I have done a ton in her living room. I've done a couple of locals with my downline in their living rooms. So even if you start in your living room, it gets bigger. Um, so start somewhere. You don't have to. I did a post the other day. Think about it. It's the bottom of the ninth. You have two outs. Your team has two outs. The bases are loaded, and you're not a very good, batter, but it's your turn to bat. And so you contemplate, do I give up my spot and let somebody else bat because I'm scared that I'm going to strike out? No, you do it. Whether you strike out or you hit a home run, you get up there and you try, because you could hit a home run on the first one. And guess what? You just won the game for your team. There is a possibility you strike out, but if you don't try, you'll never know. So I always say that the decisions and the things that scare you the most are the things you need to do. You have to step out of your comfort zone, and you have to stay out of your comfort zone if you want to build in this business. Weekly Zooms with your team. I know Q does them. I do them. So I always try to do something different. I like to do working Zooms. We actually also just started with our team. We do a monthly meeting with our upline at her house. And so all of our downline comes, like we did a Christmas party in December. And then this month, which was just last night, we did a planning 2021. We made vision boards, we did our goals. So do different things like that with your team. We also do like team building sessions where we don't actually work or do anything. We just go out and have fun. Maybe we go out and go bowling or, something like that, but you're building your team up, and you're building that rapport with everybody. So you're keeping, their confidence up, and you're keeping them motivated and things like that. So you always want to be there and keep your team motivated. I run a lot of promos for mine. I didn't start out really big, but not October, I want to say September, October, I ran a really huge one where I did it by volume. And the prizes, I did a set of AirPods at like 10K. I did a Gucci belt at 20K. I did a Louis Vuitton purse at 30K, and I did $1,000 cash at 40K, because our team was really slacking that month and I didn't want to lose my rank. So I try to throw stuff out there for our team that's going to keep them motivated. And if I got to go spend $100 on a set of AirPods, okay, I'll do that. Because when you do that, you're keeping your team motivated, but it's also a tax write-off. So you want to keep those things in mind too. And so our team's motivated, they're winning really cool stuff. And so everybody's happy and everybody's running. So that's about all I have for tips and tricks that I do. Do you have anything else you want me to talk about?
When you spin your wheel, do you have a physical wheel or do you use one online?
No, I have a physical wheel.
Physical wheel.
Yeah, I bought it on Amazon. I think it was like $30 or something.
So I have a question. You said you'll never leave your job, right?
Right.
Are you sure about that?
No, not entirely sure, but I think it'll be a while. I really do love my job, and I just recently got back into this field. And so when I got back in, I was like, oh, I really miss it. And I can't believe I left. So it's kind of one of those deals, but I really, really do love my job. So it would take a lot for me to leave. I don't even see, I know you left recently.
I did.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. It would be
I
so
loved
hard.
my job. I did. I loved it until I loved this more. And I loved my job. I really did. I loved my job. I felt needed at my job. And I won't say needed like I need to feel needed, but I mean like my position was important to me, and it was important to my patients. I had a very, like I cried when I left my job. Like I loved my patients, and I'm worried about them because I'm like, who's going to take care of them? Who's going to take care of them the way I took care of them?
Right.
Who's going to get them in when, their insurance is bad? Like I used to get them in. I found a way for everybody to be seen. Like who's going to do that? But I love this more. I love this more. And what I realized is I was working to build someone else's dream. And for me, um, doing this, I love it. And I'm building my own dream.
Yeah.
I'm building my own dream. But what I'd like to know is, so you seem to do a lot for your team and you seem to really stay consistent working your business. How do you fit it around your job? Because obviously, like while you're at work, you probably can't.
I can't. So I am huge on the nooks and crannies of my day. So I feel like, I was always one of them people that would get up in the morning and, I like to get up early. I want to get stuff done. I want to make sure my house is good because I prefer my house to be clean when I come home from work and I don't have to do anything. So I always get up super early. So I'm like, well, if I'm up early, I'm pretty good about keeping my house clean anyway. So why am I just sitting here playing on Facebook? Like, so I use my morning time to go to my groups. So my mornings is all my groups. I interact with what's gone on in there since yesterday morning. I might peek throughout the day, but my groups I do in the morning. Breaks at work, I will answer messages and Messenger. I check in with my team. I'll check the leaders group pages to see if anything's been posted that, maybe a Zoom's coming up, or Paul's page is usually one of the first ones I check because he's always last minute with his phone calls. So I always want to make sure that I get that out to my team as quickly as possible. I have Paul set to notifications on my phone. So if I'm not on break or something and he puts something out, I look at it really quick. And so that way, if it's something I share to my team. On lunch, I try to schedule like my three-way calls during lunch time, so I can get a lot of those out of the way. And then, my next break, I'm interacting with my notifications on my Facebook or on my Instagram. I started thriving on my LinkedIn, working on TikTok with Thrive because I said I wasn't going to do Thrive on TikTok until I reached 20,000 followers. Well, I'm at 21,000 now. So now it's time to thrive on TikTok. But so I have a lot of social media. I just fit it in the nooks and crannies of my day. I shut down for an hour every night because if you don't take your me time and you do this 24/7, you're going to burn yourself out. And I did that in the beginning. I was seriously like this all day long. I am at a different job now than what I was at when I first started, but I found myself sitting like this instead of working. And so that's not who I am. I pride myself on my work ethic, but I found myself just working my business and not working my job. And so that didn't work for me. So I had to figure out how to work it around my job. I still work as many hours. So I just fit it in my nooks and crannies, break time, lunchtime. I get up a little earlier in the mornings. Actually just switch my workout routine. So I'm getting up even earlier in the morning now to do my group stuff. And then I come home, I, cook dinner for the family and, I work on anything else I may have missed. And then I hang out with my family because most of the Zooms aren't until, 7:30, 8 o'clock anyway. So my me time is like dinner time and before all the craziness happens with Thrive at night, because after 8, it just seems to blow up anyway. So, but take your me time, fit it in where you can. You don't have to do everything like right now. Power hours are super good, but I split my power hour. I don't do it in the first hour of the day, or I don't do it in a solid hour. I can tell you, I work my business 3 to 4 hours every single day, but it's spread out throughout the day where I find time. And I make sure to take my downtime. I put all electronics away, and that's my me time. I have an hour drive to work. I don't know how many of you work, don't work, what your schedules are, but I have an hour drive each way. So my hour drive to work is my motivational podcast. That's the time that I listen to those things. I listen to things about business and how to be a multimillionaire. So I'm all about all that stuff on my way to work. So that gets me motivated for my day, right? So I get up, I've worked in my groups, I go work out for my hour, I come home, get ready for work, and on my way to work, like I'm getting motivated with all my motivational stuff. So that kind of sets me up for my whole day. And then I just work everything else into my day.
That's awesome. So someone asked, how many days do you sample?
Well, it depends. So I always ask questions before I sample. So the first question I ask is, are you a caffeine drinker? Do you drink caffeinated drinks? Because Thrive works different for somebody that is a huge caffeine intake person versus somebody that doesn't drink caffeine. So for somebody that doesn't drink caffeine, I usually do a 3-day sample, but I tell them to split it in half. I always talk to my people, start with one capsule, half a shake, and your DFT. Let me know how you're feeling. 99% of the time, that half a dose is making them feel fantastic. And so they have 6 days anyway. Somebody that is a huge caffeine drinker, I always start them out on a full dose, and it's anywhere between 4 or 6 days. I have had people that I've done like a 4-day sample with, and then they're like, well, I don't really feel anything. And I'll give them another sample because like, I want you to do, I've given up to 10 days because I want them to have a 10-day experience, because it can take up to 10 days to work. Not very many people are that long, but it can. So it just really depends on the person. And I talk to them every day on their experience so we can gauge how they're doing. Do I need to take it down? Because I have had some caffeine people that can't take a full dose. So, we can kind of gauge, and I tell them everybody's different. So, make sure we're talking. I reach out to them. How are you doing? Talk to me so we can adjust it for you.
So I have another, oh, do you charge for those 10 days?
I charge for the first one. So and like I said earlier, I charge for my sample. If you order by the end of your trial, I give you your money back. But if it's somebody that's doing it exactly like they're supposed to be doing it, and they're talking to me and they're giving me updates throughout the day, I'll throw them another sample at no charge, because I trust that they're going to continue to do it that way. And I'll have a conversation with them. I really want you to feel the benefits of Thrive. I'm going to give this one to you on me. Continue doing what you're doing. And yeah, I've never had anybody, stop doing it or not doing it or stop talking to me. So I really just kind of gauge on how they are on the first sample that I did sell them. And if they're pretty interactive with me and giving me updates, I'll throw them another sample on me.
What are some good ways to figure out the locals that go on in a town? So
That's
I
a
think
good
she meant,
question.
I think she meant the events, like the ones that you do in your town.
Yes. So the events is usually through like the city hall, or your county. Usually every city does their own events. So you can check city hall and see when they have events coming, what they're doing. I'm in Florida, so there's a lot of like biker events here too. We have Biketoberfest, we have Bike Week, but there's a lot of smaller events that revolve around that too. Jeeping is big down here. So we have Jeep night, second Saturday of every month. So I've been going to that for a couple months now. And I actually just talked to them last night. So I'll be setting up a Thrive booth at Jeep night. So you want to look for different things that's going on in your area and just talk to the people that's running it. But City Hall is the best place to start with that.
So Veronica, where do you find that most of your thrivers have come from? Social media, your events, because you do a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's a kind of a mixture. A lot have come from social media. Um, I almost did not sign up for my city's events because I buy the year. Number one, it's cheaper. Number two, it locks me in and Thrive in, so no other Thriver can get in there. But I almost did not redo that in 2020 because 2019 wasn't that great for that. So I had to take a step back and think. When I first started doing that, I got my best promoter from one of those events. It was somebody that I never knew prior. She stopped by my booth and she had been talking to somebody else, but the other person quit talking to her. So I'm like, yeah, girl, here, make your free account. I'll give you a sample. She turned into my best promoter. She was my first 12K. She got her husband at 12K. So, but it's kind of a mixture. And that's why my number one, like why I keep doing the events, because you never know. And like I said, some are super slow, some are better. but it is a mixture. Not a lot of my family thrive. My mom actually took her 6 months to get her thriving. So it is very true what Paul says. You are not going to be the one to sell your family. It's going to be one of your friends to sell your family. My mom was like adamant, I'm not doing it. I'm like, I'll buy it. Just do it. And she's like, nope, not doing it. But I have to say, most of it's just social media.
And so I don't want to keep you any longer, but here's my last question. First of all, I want to say thank you because lots of great tips. Like in my chat, they're like, "Oh my gosh, such good info." So thank you. First, I want to
You're
say that.
welcome.
How do you feel about the bonuses that were just dropped?
Oh my
And which
God.
one are you running for?
I'm running for 80. I
Okay,
have not hit 80 yet. I've been so close. So I am running for 80, super static.
awesome.
You're gonna
You
stay at
know,
the job if you hit it?
I don't know. I make really, really good money at my job.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to be at like 100, 120 with Thrive for me to even consider it because that's about where I'm at with my job,
Got
money wise. Um, but the team is super pumped. And so, everything kind of runs, your business kind of runs off your downline, right? So the more people that you're helping hit their goals and their bonuses and their ranks is ultimately going to help you. So yes, I'm running for 80, but I'm not concentrating on me. Yeah, I'm concentrating on enrolling new people. The new people that I'm enrolling, I'm like, all right, we're running for this VIP. Now we're running for this VIP. Now we're doing this. People that's been in that maybe haven't hit 4K yet, hasn't really been motivated. And I have a few of those. I personally called them that night. We were on the phone. I'm like, listen, this is what's on the table. You don't have to do much. This is what you got to do. And $4,000 is yours. Like, and if you really look at it with the way they structured it down, tell me 12 people that you can't get to 4K in 4 months.
Yep.
Like that is huge. And so you're taking 100% of their bonus. That's $48,000 for you. And
Yep.
if just that you've made off of their bonuses. And so like you do that. And at that point, the people that you help get there the first month, and I did the math for my team. So I was like, 3 people to 4K and you've made this off their bonus, but I'm like, guess what? You just got 3 people to 4K to help them get a bonus. Now you're at 12. You just got a $12,000 bonus. So I actually did that for my team and I broke it all out with math and look, this is what you can do. And if you help this many people, you're going to reach your goal.
Okay, and I know I said that was the last question,
No,
but
you're good.
I have one more question. So I have a couple that are going on their first lifestyle getaway. I have some that have never been on a lifestyle getaway. Can you just paint the picture from your perspective of a lifestyle getaway?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, you guys think about, and I've been on vacation before, I'm a big cruiser. I cruise at least twice a year. So mad they've been canceled. But anyways, so I'm a big traveler already. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot different when I went on my first one. But I tell you, if you are like in a slump and with your business, like because it goes in roller coasters, right? It's not always, sunshine and rainbows. That is like somewhere you want to strive to be. Because when I went on my first one, I actually qualified for my first one, my third month. I signed up in September. I was qualified in November. But it's something out of this world. You go to this really fancy, we went to Hard Rock and Punta Cana, my first one, and to listen to other thrivers there, that's where I met Q. But you listen to thrivers that have been on getaways before. And it's just amazing. That's our downtime. That's our time to relax, kind of reset. But I never relax and I never reset because it's always so exciting. I'm always going live with my team. And, when they do the event, the Saturday night event, which is not even Saturday night, it's Friday night, whatever night they do it, that event, like I look forward to that event. They did the call, so we already know what products they're releasing, but it doesn't make that event any less spectacular. You get into this hotel or this place and you have thousands and thousands and thousands of thrivers there. And so everywhere you go, it's a thriver. It's just amazing. And if it's not something that you have thought about doing, or that you can do, or that you strive to do it. Because let me tell you, it is one of the most amazing experiences for you to go somewhere. And they're not like shabby hotels. I mean, these are really nice places, not places that I would buy for myself. I can tell you that. They're super nice, but you walk in and you're getting 5-star treatment from the people that work there. You're not coming out of pocket for anything unless you just want to go do some shopping. So super, super amazing. So much fun. And, you learn so much from other people there too.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Veronica. Does anybody have questions for Veronica? I know you guys asked in the chat, but was there anybody else who had any questions for her before I let her go? No, 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 no. Well, I really enjoyed this. I did
Yes.
record it. I'll send you the recording. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you this week on yours.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. And thanks, guys, for hopping on. And everybody have a good night. Run for that bonus, guys.
Good night,
Yes.
y'all.
Bye.